for your time. Could you please tell our audience perhaps wherever you are from in this great land?
I'm from the West Coast. It's called Broome. And I come from that beautiful little area of the peninsula which is known as Watiapul. Watiapul is the Great Northern Lands. And from the Ngombul clan and also the Numanbur clan as well, which is my father's and mother is Ngombul. Broome is Jajalalala Buru, means land of great sand dunes. And it's a beautiful place. It's where the sun sets and a very ancient part of the country.
Thank you. Recently we met at it wasn't a political rally, it was more like a political scrutiny, one might say. And I noticed that you had some very interesting and pertinent, relevant points of view. Could you please tell us now, perhaps, where you're coming from so that people can possibly speculate about your actions?
I'm coming from the whole. I'm coming from deep within my being. I'm coming from one human being, sister, friend, family, kinship, to all those who would like to be, who would like to live, and who would like to get rid of just the craziness, mostly inside of ourselves, and the walls that divide us, and ignorance which is inside of ourselves. And to be able to build a trust as human beings to come together, love together, share the earth together, share this country together, sing up this country together, and to allow our children to be happy together, in equality, in peace, and in good spirit.
Thank you. It became apparent to me that some of the dialogue was constitutional, perhaps British, white man constitution. How does Indigenous law understand the situation compared to this white man?
Well, you can't put law on paper. Law is universal, law is the land, and we as First People are following the laws of creation in this land, and it is very sacred. Same with us, we might be from this country, but we can't just go there and desecrate and control and order and the land. We have to work with it to exist, to be in harmony, and that's really, really important to us. The law inside, I feel, is how you conduct yourself. That you shall not trespass, you shall not harm, you shall not be disrespectful, and you should not be discriminative or separated. Nothing separate. Everything is one within spirit. And everybody has a place within that. It's about sharing. It's about looking after each other. The family, everyone, and the land. So the land can look after us and we can continue to be together. That is the law. Not what's on paper. Not what is on contract. My heart word is my contract, is my consent.
As is mine.
Yes. And we need to make that sacred again. We don't need to be pulling out insurance or organizing contract, because I don't really trust that our agreement is going to stick. No, I believe that our agreement is going to stick because my heart word is your heart word. And that is the right way. The right way.
Also, your culture would actually accept that there are esoteric witnesses to these contracts, as in tree spirits, or I'm not trying to...
Always, always. I speak to everything all the time. The tree, the stars, the mountain, everything speaks if you're listening. If you're listening. If you're really seeing and not being pulled here in this mindset, this program set.
What, like the pudding set?
Yes.
Like the concrete is set.
Exactly. Exactly. And I've seen, and the earth has spoken, and it continues. And when you see that, you know. You don't have to believe it. You know.
Yeah, well, realization is so much more important than belief.
That's right. That's right. And I'm just looking at myself right now. You know.
Well, I'm glad just seeing you smile.
That's right. And isn't it a beautiful time? And I place my heartness back into the people, to the hearts of the people. The black, the whites, the yellows, the greens. And I feel really good about this moment right now for everyone. Because I can see that everyone is getting up. And everyone's like me and you. We sitting in the lounge room right now. Like those who decided to come. They all came at the meeting on Saturday because we all had a common passion, a common craving to bring peace, to stop the corporations or expose or give information, because if knowledge and wisdom is shared wisely, then that is the power to be free. And to give that to everyone so they can use it wisely and to stand up within their sovereignty, their sovereign spirit. You know, that's why my old people say Raji is that lightning spirit, that plasma, that creation inside of you, into burrow, into ground, into clay, into earth. And that's who we are.
Very nice.
Nothing else.
A little bit of a controversial question, perhaps. There's discussion about a referendum including Indigenous, and I don't necessarily really like that word. I'm going to say including Aboriginal peoples in a constitution.
Yes.
I have my understandings of that. I'd like to hear yours. Constitution or treaty? Or is there a third, perhaps better solution even yet?
Like I said, we don't need to recognize ourselves within a piece of paper, on a piece of paper. It's just a piece of paper, nothing else. The Constitution does not reflect the law of the land. It does not reflect the true essence of who we are as human beings. That is something that we wish not to inherit. Not for our children or your children. This is the time for all of us to grow up, to become beautiful and good again. Go right way. We say good, good, good. To be that goodness in every day. And I ask you all, what do you need to let go of in order to stand within your sacredness as the light, as the law, on common ground? As human beings, they're really, really simple things. And I'm asking everyone that I will be there for each and every one of you, whether you're black, white, yellow, or red, that we can truly come to the table and establish an agreement, a sacred agreement in this country as human beings, as a new way forward. I'm not saying we go back to our old law. I'm not saying you go back to your old law. Let it bring these two together and make it real. That is the offering for all of us. I know you speak to country. I know you speak to the stars. I know you speak to all things. That is law. I know that this country is inside of you. And this country is inside of me. As above, so below. Little rock connected to all rocks. The sun, the moon, the stars, the earth. We are all that. And this is our home. And this is your home too. So let's make it a home together. Let's make it one way. Good way for all of us. Let it cater for all the beautiful families of the earth that live here. Because you've just come home. You've just come home. And that's all the ancestors really wanted us, was to come home, to share and be.
How often, Jingki, do you come over to the east?
I've been here 9 years now.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of completion. I am a seeker of truth.
We use the word in our culture, bona fide seeker.
Bona fide
It means
seeker.
that it's real and not pretended.
That's right. A bona fide seeker. I'm truly the pathfinder now, because I am on the right path. And that path is for everyone. I'm not angry. I just wanted to know what was stopping us from making things work on the ground. I wanted to know what was stopping us from connecting. I wanted to know who was dividing us. And from that place, we can let go of that separation, because it's all an illusion on that level. So I had to come closest to the light from the dark places of the West. And I woke up and I come here and I was like, here I am. And I see, and I went over the mountains and I went over the hills and the seas and the valleys and the rivers, and I found my peace. Because I realized that I am the light and I am the law. And that law cannot tell me how to live and be, because the divine and natural law is free. It's free for everyone. And I know how to protect my family, myself, because I know what I'm dealing with the corporations. Not the Australian government, but the corporations. Contract law. That doesn't give us full insight, full disclosure. But I'm fully informed. I'm fully informed of their trickery and their lies and their cons. And that it's all pretend. And that we make it real if we give them the power. And that I can walk away with and I can share. Not teach, but share. You know what? I want to go. And it's not the way, it's how we share this. From our heart. From our heart, because it was like I was sharing to myself again. So I could be free. Because I know that once you know the truth, then there's nothing to be frightened of anymore. You're free.
It's very nice that you're understanding the idiosyncrasies of this corporation. Even under their own law, they are not allowed to trade with the living.
No.
So they have to bring us to that paperwork. Can you please tell us your insights about that shadow personality? You know what I mean? They give you a paperwork. It's like that shadow game. You tread on the shadow and on.
That's right. I was laying down last night and I was thinking, it's really funny. We don't necessarily go out and go, you know, like sing out our full name, you know. It's always the given, you know. And I just thought it was really funny. The corporation name Carrie Ann Cox. So, you know, when I'm at home or when I'm with my friends and community, it's hey Kay or hey Carrie Ann, you know, or Jingky. It's not hello Carrie Ann Cox. It's not real. And that piece of paper, like I said, I'll write Carrie Ann Cox on it. And it's just a name on a piece of paper. That can't talk to me. It's not real. It's not breathing. It's dead. But I'm breathing. Human being. Sacred. That is real. If I sign and give consent to that corporation name, then I make it real for them to say, I play your game. But I don't play your game. I'm me. That's all. I'm me. Me's a name, yes, Carrie Ann's a name, but that's something that my parent gave me as to what they saw of me. So I became Carrie Ann. Just to connect with a pronoun of what they felt and heard and see, which then came Carrie Ann.
Actually, it's a material name until they recognise the soul of the body.
Exactly.
It's a temporary name.
That's right. That's right. And that's from the essence. That's all. It's like, you know, when you get nicknames, because of something that you've done, because your soul, essence, you know, have from what you are and being with your friends or your family or your community, and then they give you that name because that feels right in the moment of you, you know. And it's going back to that spiritual way, you know. So as I said to the cops, you know, I have many names. Totally depends on where I am in the country, who's talking to me. You know, it's just a name.
I study Vedic culture based in Sanskrit, and we have a similar thing. We use the word Prabhu, which means master. We call each other master.
That's
and we call
right.
ourselves servant. So the example is given that, of course, many fathers, I'll say it a different way. There's a full shopping centre and one man or boy says, Dad, how many persons will turn around? So if we're specific with their name, only one father may turn around. So we have to have many names and titles. It's not that they're weird, duplicitous, but we don't necessarily give our familiar name for others to use.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Now, it seems, and correct me if I'm wrong, are you going to still reside here on the East Coast, or are you thinking of returning?
I will return to the West.
Right.
Yes.
Have you got any timeline particularly?
Possibly in the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
A lot of the family mobs from the outer lands of the Kimberleys and Western Deserts are all gathering now. On Friday, they were all gathering to Broome to pretty much say that they do not want the land council to represent them. Because we don't need a corporation to represent us.
No, sorry, that's true, but they don't realise they've been incorporated.
That's right.
They're thinking that white man's given them some power, but actually cut their neck.
Nothing. Yes.
They're all dead and they can't rule over the living.
That's right. And this is something that we had agreed on at the gathering of the, if you want to call it the 10MC, is that all corporations foreclosure now and land councils be foreclosed in that. For we do not wish to enter into native title and all that. They have been put on notice. Even our land councils have been put on notice. Traveling back, one of our sisters stopped over at Dobbo's Land Council and said, we're part of the real law and we don't need you to be talking about us and fighting, getting our land back. So you're being closed down now. And the CEO said, well, that's interesting you said, I was just looking for another job this morning. And that, so it's, the momentum's building, and there are really high core, smart, intelligent, original ones. And this is, we adapt quickly, you know, that's something, because we're so hands-on, and I can maybe spend a couple of weeks with you and I'll adapt everything from you. And that's what we've done with the English culture, and that's what we've done with the English language. And it's only to swallow it up and put it into us and take out everything that's not useful and bring and keep the positives and the beauty of that is part of our original seed. It doesn't matter if you're the seed of that life. And we live in both worlds. So both worlds are one world now. So we've done that. And there's quite a lot of us who have accepted that. And nothing's separate anymore. And that's something that I'm being right now in this moment. The fact that I'm being this in this moment right now, and I'm singing country, and I'm putting it out, same with you, same with all of us, that's all we're calling in. There's no room for distraction, for the trickery and the crazy mindset programs to keep us in that, you know, in that low vibration and suffering. I know I'm awake, and that's all I'm focusing on, is everything that I've reached in this moment of being free. Original world and European world, English world, like that now. One. That's what I bring. It's healed. It's loved. It's been embraced. And we walk together. One time, one way. Everyone who's still separated, caught up in politics, don't know who they are. Really? Do you know who you are? Come on now. There's no fear. I'm not distracted by that. Only what is to be grounded right now, in essence of spirit and body. So this world is one now. Know it proper. You know, navigated everything, you know, for this moment. It's closed. History's closed. The old story's closed. Here is a clean, it's a clear canvas. It's all new.
Fresh.
Yeah. Rarangu. Adorning of this new mabu mabu beginning, dream time.